Now, Carswell did not resign. This is just temporary as of right now. And Jones tells me the city is not planning on looking for a replacement for him until they find out the results of those legal issues. Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more from Jones and his message to the community during this uncertain time. Laura?
All right, Nick, thank you. Taking a look outside over Bobby Jones, a shaky camera. Looks like we're getting a bit of a breeze out there. Anthony Carpino, our meteorologist, here to tell us, is it a breeze or is it a shaky screw on our limbs?
Now, it's a little bit of a breeze out there, Laura. We have definitely seen that as we've gone through this afternoon. Winds between about 10 to 15 through the Augusta area. We take a look outside right now, downtown Augusta. This is looking toward Aiken. You can actually see one good cell coming down right now. Overall, those temperatures today have been on the cooler side. 78 degrees currently here in Augusta. High temperatures today really making it only into the middle 80s, just shy of where we should be for this time of year. So it's definitely been a cool May. We are going to be talking about some warmer temperatures as we get closer to this weekend. A look at Max Doppler radar does show a few isolated showers out there as we take a closer look between Augusta and Aiken. We do have one good downpour just to the north of New Ellington. This is going to move right between Aiken and Augusta in the next 10 to about 15 minutes. So if you're going to be on US 1, just make sure to grab that umbrella. We will notice these showers coming to an end once that sun does go down, and eventually noticing some clearer skies as we go through past midnight and through portions of early tomorrow morning. But any outdoor plans for this evening, for the most part, we'll say nice and dry. A few scattered showers out there, partly cloudy skies as we get closer to about 8 o'clock. Those temperatures also staying on the warmer side, very mild 75 at 8 o'clock before dipping into the 60s and eventually into the 50s by tomorrow morning. But it is going to stay dry and very warm as we go through the next few days. So definitely plan on watering the lawn over the next few days and pretty much over the next 7 days. 90 degrees for you on Friday. We're going to continue warming as we go through this weekend, starting off in the lower 90s, but lower by next week, we could be talking about 100-degree temperatures.
Ooh, I do not want to talk about that, but I guess we will do it anyway. Anthony, thank you. A second suspect has been arrested in a shooting that left 2 women dead and 2 others injured. This happened at the Magnolia Court Apartments off of East Telfair Street last Thursday. Deputies arrested 21-year-old Julian Mays yesterday. Now he's being held on 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and a count for possession of a firearm. Deputies arrested Tyler Prather soon after the shooting. A Fort Gordon Brigade leader fired after allegations of misconduct. The Army says they removed Colonel Matthew Folk from command. He's been in charge of the 35th Signal Brigade since July of 2019. Army officials will not go into details about what the misconduct allegations involve. Business owners, community members, and elected officials had the chance to hear from state lawmakers today over breakfast in Columbia County. That breakfast hosted by the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce. Public safety was a big topic, specifically funding for law enforcement. Lieutenant General Fogarty also spoke at that breakfast on the importance of working with the county so that soldiers at Fort Gordon want to stay here. Leaders say it's important for them to keep having these annual meetings so the community is aware of what laws will become active July 1st. Democrats pushing forward with a plan to look into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The bill was created with support from both sides of the aisle, but as Skylar Henry reports, most Republicans aren't crazy about the idea.
The House is expected to vote for a new 9/11-style commission to investigate the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol.
We're very proud of our bipartisan bill that will come to the floor and be passed today in the House.
Some Republicans are expected to join Democrats in passing the bill, but GOP leadership urged members to vote no.
We're not prepared at this time to provide, huge support for this bill. We think it can continue to improve.
The legislation met opposition after Republican and Democratic negotiators struck a deal for equal power on the commission.
The distinguished minority leader sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi asking for an equal 5-5 ratio in appointments by Democrats and Republicans on this commission. He got it. He asked for co-equal subpoena power. He got it.
Some Republicans want to expand the commission to look at other political violence and demonstrations, including last summer's racial justice protests.
We truly hope to find answers for the American people, then we must take into account everything, all of the other political violence that's taken place in recent years.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell announced he, too, is opposed to the January 6th commission, saying it's just not needed.
It's not at all clear what new facts or additional investigation yet another commission could actually lay on top of existing efforts by law enforcement and Congress.
But Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he will bring the bill up for a vote on the Senate floor.
We'll see where our Republican friends stand. If they stand with truth, or they stand with the big lie and sweeping truth under the rug, which is so un-American.
Wednesday afternoon, the FBI released more videos of the attack, asking for public tips to help identify people taking part in the assault.
More than 2,000 Guard members have been at Capitol Hill for security since the January 6th insurrection. The Department of Defense says troops that are there and that extra support will wrap up this weekend. Today, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called Israel's attacks on Gaza organized state terrorism. He's accusing Israel of deliberately attacking civilians and homes. Israel says it only strikes military targets and tries to avoid hurting families by sending warnings before those strikes. Today, those airstrikes continue on Gaza, killing at least 6 more people. Gaza health officials say at least 219 Palestinians have been killed in airstrikes. 12 people have died in Israel. In a call with Israel's prime minister this morning, President Biden called for significant de-escalation between Israel and Hamas, that militant group in Palestine. But the prime minister said the operation will go on until its objective is complete. The European Union says they are working on reopening the borders. They will be easing back COVID-19 travel restrictions for outsiders beginning this summer. Vaccinated Americans would be among those able to travel. Right now, only people from 7 countries can visit the European Union for non-essential travel right now. South Carolina deputies searching for this man who they say was last spotted in Aiken County. Officials say Jerry Hall Jr., also known as J.J. Hall, turned off or pried off his GPS monitor and is now on the run. Officials say he was last spotted in Aiken County on Goose Platter Road, right near exit 33 on I-20. He's wanted for burglary and grand larceny charges out of Lexington County. So if you have any information, call the number right there on your screen. Following more than a year of nationwide protests over police brutality, the Seattle Police Department is really struggling under the public backlash. The police chief says 260 officers, or about 20% of their force, have left in the past year and a half. Last summer's protests over the killing of George Floyd led to violent clashes with Seattle police. The department was also faced with a 13% budget cut. That's when the department's then chief retired. One officer says he understands the community's outrage, but objects to how the city is treating its police force.
That could be me, that could be my son, that could be a relative, that could be a friend. There needs to be an understanding of how things got to be the way they are.
But defunding the police, is that the way to do it?
No. If anything, you need more funding.
We've reached out to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office here at home to see if they've seen anything similar over the past 18 months, and we'll let you know what they say. A terrifying moment for an 11-year-old girl all caught on surveillance video. What she did to save herself when we get back.
And as we head toward this weekend, we're going to be talking like more summer temperatures. 92 on Saturday, warming up to the upper 90s for Sunday. Then next week, we have a shot at 100 degrees. Of that full forecast coming up.
Tractor-trailer drivers impaired behind the wheel.
It's surreal that I'm alive.
The I-Team uncovers a disturbing spike in big rig drivers on drugs or abusing alcohol. How the pandemic may have fueled the trend. Thursday on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
An 11-year-old girl seconds away from being kidnapped in Florida. This frightening video caught on surveillance video. You see that man trying to grab her, but she was able to fight him off and get free. As Kelsey Coffey reports, the sheriff says the suspect is now in custody.
The video is horrifying. An 11-year-old girl waits alone for a school bus when a man darts out of this white van straight for her. Armed with a knife, he wrestled with the girl.
She fought and she fought and she fought until finally she was able to break free.
But she fights back and gets away.
It doesn't take a genius to figure out what his intentions were, but they were not good. So a life was saved.
The attack unfolding at this bus stop on Old Quarryfield Road and Perdido Street around 7 Tuesday morning.
We inundated the area with law enforcement.
More than 50 deputies scoured the neighborhood, and within 8 hours,
we have caught the animal that tried to kidnap an 11-year-old girl this morning.
Sheriff Chip Simmons says the tag number on the van led deputies to this home on Betty Road. They found the van and this man, Jared Stenga, who they believe is responsible for the attack. The sheriff says the van's bumper, which was originally described to be silver, had fresh black paint, and the 30-year-old Stenga had blue slime still stuck on his clothes and body. The girl was playing with blue slime at the time of the attempted kidnapping.
You saw the blue goo, the slime that's on the suspect that the victim had. You're not kidding anyone. We know who you are. We know you're an animal. And we also know you're under arrest.
And this may not have been this man's first attempt. About 2 weeks ago, the 11-year-old says this same man approached her here and made her feel uncomfortable. She reported it immediately to her school.
Did the school contact you guys? Did the family contact y'all?
This is the first that we heard about that today.
The sheriff says now's the time to send this message about safety to all kids.
Fight, fight, fight. Like your life depends on it.
And the sheriff's message for the girl who fought her way to freedom?
You have gone through something that, fortunately, no one should have to go through. And very few do have to go through. My message to her is that she's my hero.
Wow, really chilling watching that as a parent. But the superintendent of the school district says the girl reported the first situation to a teacher. The principal alerted the child's parents, and her mom walked her to the bus every day after that. Yesterday was the first day the girl went back to the bus stop by herself. Taking a look out over Grovetown, you can see cloudy skies out there and a little bit of a breeze. Anthony Carpino, our meteorologist, is here to tell us about what to expect tonight.
Hey there, Laura. Yeah, so as everyone's heading out the door this evening, most locations are actually going to end up staying dry. A little bit of a breeze out there, like you mentioned. We do have a few pop-up showers. Take a look over downtown Augusta. This is looking toward Aiken, where we did have one good shower out there. This is starting to fizzle out now. Temperatures have remained relatively cool this afternoon. Upper 70s right now here in Augusta, but highs earlier today were into the lower to mid 80s. That's still just shy from where we should be for this time of year. So the month of May has just been, we've looked out very cool temperatures. An area of high pressure is off to our north. On the backside of that, we do notice that flow coming in off the Atlantic, bringing us the chance for those scattered showers. More rainfall is off to our west, but unfortunately we're not going to be tapping into all of that rain as we continue on through the next few days. A closer look here at the CSRA does show a few scattered showers that really have started to dissipate over the last couple of hours. Take a closer look in some of our southern counties by Millen, seeing a good little downpour just to the south of you guys. That's going to move off to the northwest over the next couple of hours before fizzling out as we get past sunset and eventually clearing our skies out altogether as we go through early tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be falling into the upper 50s and the lower 60s if you are inside of 520. We'll notice those temperatures right around 56 degrees for us here in Augusta at Bushfield. Again, just a little bit warmer inside of Bobby Jones. For the most part, around the region, upper 50s for some of our outskirts, places like Aiken as well as in Sylvania, 56 to about 58 degrees there. And as we go through the afternoon tomorrow, actually going to be warming things up back to the middle 80s, and warming continues as we go through Friday afternoon. You got the green light both days and pretty much over the next 7 days to wash that car. We're going to be talking about some summer-like heat, but the month so far has been very cool. Lots of below average temperatures pretty much over the last 2 weeks, and that is going to change as we get through this weekend as well as through portions of next week. And it's all thanks to this pattern of trough off to our west, pulling in some cool Canadian air, but a ridge in the middle of the country pulling up that warm temperatures from the equator, and that's going to be toasting us as we go through portions of next week where we could be talking about triple-digit heat. So for this weekend, 92 to about 96 degrees, and over the next 7 days, expecting those temperatures to be very warm as we go through portions of next week. Sunday, 96, and then warming things up 100 degrees as we go through Tuesday. The next chance of rain coming on Wednesday. Very low chance, an isolated shower or two possible there. Temperatures slightly cooler, but still very warm, 98. Luckily, that humidity is going to be staying low, so not true summer heat, more or less a dry heat as we go through next week. Overnight temperatures into the upper 60s, Laura.
Well, the coronavirus pandemic is making a lot of people think about changing their work lives. Michael George has a look at one woman who managed to reinvent herself during the pandemic.
When Christian Simone was laid off from her corporate project manager job in December, she decided it was time for a change.
It really just put a hard focus on me looking in the mirror and saying, are you really living or are you just existing?
Beauty is a form of meditation.
The Texas native, now living in Minneapolis, started a beauty and wellness YouTube channel while also saving money to pursue a degree.
I applied to grad school to get my master's in social work. I want to go for my goals of becoming a therapist and being able to focus on Black women and women of color.
A survey by the Pew Research Center found during the pandemic, 2/3 of unemployed adults have considered making a career change. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says before you make a big change, do your homework.
you really want to start researching what your career is going to be looking like in the future. So is it your industry? Is it another industry?
Some industries that are growing right now include e-commerce, healthcare and telemedicine, online learning, and digital entertainment like streaming services. If you start a new career, one of the biggest challenges can be negotiating a salary.
You want to compare apples to apples, right? If you're making $50,000 in one job, you're moving to a new industry, you might have to take a step back.
For Simone, losing her job meant relying on unemployment and budgeting.
When I went to work, I focus on the fact that you need rent money and you gotta pay your bills, so you gotta do what you have to do.
She's hoping her decision to make a career switch and reinvent herself will eventually pay off. Michael George, CBS News.
A lot of people thinking about their future during the pandemic, but experts advise if you are looking to make a career switch, practice your Zoom calls, be careful with your social media profiles. That is good advice for anyone. What if you could find out which items have been secretly marked down at Walmart and other retailers? Coming up, a Facebook group that shares information to help save you money.
Baseball. Right after you get that kind of big.
Baseball Street to see everything is on sale.
In stock and ready for delivery. If you shop at Walmart, you probably at least walk down the clearance aisle just to see if there's a big discount on something you need or don't need. What you may not know is that sometimes the sticker price is wrong. Jamie Tucker has found a group on Facebook where people are sharing those secret finds store by store.
Shoppers on these Facebook groups spend a lot of time looking for those secret bargains. So armed with their Facebook posts, an app, and a website, I set out to see what I could find.
Everyone knows Walmart's clearance aisle is hit or miss. Items today, gone tomorrow, replaced by other discounted items. Well, several Facebook groups have popped up where shoppers are letting everyone else know what they find on clearance aisles in their stores. This group has over 500,000 members. Here's how it works. Users take the Walmart app onto the clearance aisles and scan the barcodes. They often report a much lower price than what's on the sticker. Now, this group member, for instance, scanned the barcode of this Opti painter marked on clearance for $94. It's scanned for $17. Now, I had no such luck. Everything scanned is marked. But members point out items are often priced drastically different from one store to the next. One member finding a full-size Pac-Man arcade game marked $600 online, scanned for $164, while another reported they found it for less than $100 in their store. Members also use the website brickseek.com to search inventory of their nearest Walmart store.
And once again, those sales vary from store to store, so if you want to find some of them, you may have to drive a bit. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Oh man, sounds like a lot of work, but I do love a deal. There are other Facebook groups dedicated to finding these deep discounts for Amazon, Best Buy, and Target. So, worth a spin. All right, what are we looking at out there, Anthony?
We're going to be talking about some warm temperatures, Laura, as we continue through the rest of this week and into the weekend. 96 degrees on Sunday, and next week we have a shot at 100 degrees. One more look at that forecast coming up.
All that's all. Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Well, as we continue on through the rest of this evening, we are going to be noticing those showers coming to an end and finally starting to clear out our skies as we go through the overnight hours and eventually for tomorrow. Here's a look outside downtown Augusta. We did have a good little shower going on by Aiken. That has now fizzled out, and even seeing some breaks in the clouds. We'll notice more of that as we go through this evening. Currently still 78 degrees here in Augusta. We'll see those temperatures falling once that sun goes down in the next couple of hours. Here's a loop over the radar for the last couple of hours as well, just seeing the chance for some of those pop-up showers out there. We'll notice those coming to an end again. Once that sun goes down, all that energy gets out of the the atmosphere, and we'll finally clear things out once we get past sunset and through portions of tomorrow morning. Lows tonight will be falling down into the upper 50s, staying into the 60s if you're inside of Bobby Jones. So any outdoor plans this evening, firing up the griller, maybe going out to a baseball game, we'll see the temperatures cooling to the upper 70s, mid 70s as we get closer to about 8 o'clock this evening. We're going to be warming things up as we go through this weekend with temperatures 90, 92 degrees on Saturday. That continues to warm as we go through the day on Sunday. Then we're going to be talking about 100-degree heat by the time we get through Tuesday. Next chance of rain coming on Wednesday. Chance for a few isolated showers there. But we're in for some summer temperatures as we go through most of next week, guys.
Oh, man, I guess we got to brace for that because ready or not, they are coming. We'll see you for the next half hour of news.